Hey you all. I've been in a really weird situation this weekend, and I seriously don't think I'm the jerk here, but when I told my boyfriend about this story, he said I was a major jerk for saying what I said. My mom is totally on my side. Let me get into the backstory. My best friend B and I, when we were little kids, and when we were early teens, 14, we developed our friendship and we became best friends. Literally inseparable by the hip. We did everything together. Made little trips, talked about anything and everything, and we swore we would never ghost each other. Our friendship lasted for over 13 years. I am now 29, and so is B. B met a guy on a Discord server, and somehow, somewhere along the line, I was absolutely forgotten. I wasn't invited to the wedding, I wasn't talked to anymore. Nada. I decided to let the friendship go and have since erased her from my life. Hell, she doesn't even know I'm in a relationship for 3 years now. She doesn't even know my boyfriend's name. Nothing. I was incredibly hurt, but now I'm indifferent to the whole scenario, but it still stings, that much I admit. Now onto the event. The mom of my ex-best friend works at a gas station, and I tried to avoid it, but I literally had no gas left in my car and had to get gas. Of course, her car is there, and I prepare myself for the meeting. When she saw me, she was all smiles and, "Oh, it's so great to see you." While I was paying, not saying much, she said, "You know, B is so sad that you didn't contact her anymore, and she misses you." I just looked her straight in the eyes and said, "Your precious daughter was the one to not contact me anymore. She doesn't even know I'm in a serious relationship for over 2 years now. She doesn't want to see or meet me. That's cool, but she sure as hell will not make me the bad guy here. Tell her to get the story straight." I wished her a good evening and left. Her mom was really shocked. I could see it on her face. My boyfriend thinks I was a major jerk for telling her mom this. I don't think I am. Edit. It seems many of you think the eye contact is aggressive. I'm sorry, I'm German, and it seems I worded it wrong. I held eye contact with her the whole time. It wasn't like a Western movie standoff. I just returned the eye contact with her and told her the following. Sorry. Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Honestly, my verdict is, not the idiot. I'm American. My husband is German, relevant from other comments. Eye contact is normal when you're being serious, and German can come off as a very harsh language at first. But anyways, you told her the truth, it's what needed to be said. Yes, there are indeed 2 sides to every story, but I bet you B just told her mom that to save her butt. Does it seem slightly rude tone-wise? Yes, but I understand why you would get immediately angry like you did. A 13-year friendship, gone for one dude, would piss me off too. Not the idiot. B should have told the truth instead of completely dipping on you and then lying to her mother. Comment 2. I'm struggling to believe you are 29. People grow apart. It can hurt. But promising as children not to ghost each other seems a bit odd. Also, doesn't even know I'm in a serious relationship. Why would she if you aren't in contact anymore? You say you are indifferent to it, but that clearly isn't the case. How do you know the mom wasn't sad herself about you drifting apart and trying to make amends? Now for the update. Hey everyone, it's been a month since my last post, and wow, a lot has happened. Buckle up because this update is a busy ride. After that gas station encounter with B's mom, things took an unexpected turn. I thought I had closed the chapter on my friendship with B, but fate had other plans. A few days after the incident, I ran into B at the local grocery store. It was the first time we'd seen each other since she ghosted me. My heart raced as I debated whether to confront her or walk away. But before I could decide, she approached me. B looked different, almost like the years of not talking had changed her. She was hesitant at first, but then she blurted out an apology. She told me how her life had been a mess since she got married. Her husband, the guy from the Discord server, turned out to be controlling and had isolated her from everyone, including me. She had finally left him and was trying to rebuild her life. I was shocked. The B I knew was always so strong and independent. To hear that she had been in such a toxic relationship was heartbreaking. We ended up talking for hours in the grocery store cafe, catching up on everything we'd missed in each other's lives. She was genuinely remorseful for losing touch and explained that her mom had twisted the story, making it seem like I was the one who had cut contact. As for my boyfriend, he was stunned when I told him about the reunion. He admitted that he might have been too quick to judge the situation at the gas station. We had a long talk about communication and understanding, and it brought us closer together. In the weeks that followed, B and I slowly started to rebuild our friendship. We took baby steps, grabbing coffee, going for walks, and sharing memories of our teenage years. It was like we were 14 again. giggling and planning little trips. But this time, we were also supporting each other as adults. One day, Bea invited me over to her new apartment. It was a cozy place, filled with plants and books. She had started painting again, a passion she had abandoned during her marriage. Her artwork was all over the walls, vibrant and full of life. Seeing her in her element, happy and free, was a sight to behold. During that visit, Bea handed me an envelope. Inside was an invitation to her divorce party. She wanted to celebrate a new beginning, and she wanted me there with her. I was touched. It was a testament to how far we'd come in just a few weeks. The party was a blast. Our old friends were there, and it felt like no time had passed. We danced, laughed, and shared stories until the early hours of the morning. Bea was radiant, a stark contrast to the woman I had bumped into at the grocery store. As the party wound down, Bea pulled me aside. She thanked me for giving her a second chance and for being there when she needed a friend the most. She promised that she would never let anyone come between us again. I could see the sincerity in her eyes, and I knew she meant it. And then the most unexpected thing happened. Bea's mom showed up. I braced myself for an awkward confrontation, but instead, she came over and hugged me. She apologized for the misunderstanding at the gas station and for not seeing what was happening with her daughter. She had been in denial about the whole situation. The night ended with Bea, her mom, and me sitting on the couch, sharing stories and laughing together. It was a healing moment for all of us. The past hurt seemed to melt away, and it felt like we were starting a new chapter. As for my boyfriend, he's been amazing through all of this. He's been my rock, supporting me as I navigated the ride of rekindling a friendship. He even helped Bea set up her divorce party, showing that he truly cared about my happiness. HOA tells me to get dumpster for Reno, but neighbor whines, and I'm forced to move it at my expense. Then car gets scratched, and I'm blamed. But tables turn when HOA fraud comes to light. I'm going renovations to my condo. 2 months ago, I asked the HOA what would be the best way to discard demolition construction debris. Could I just dump them in the existing dumpsters for household trash, or rent a dumpster? They said that when I'm ready, send a separate request for a temporary dumpster, and they will tell me where to put it and how long. Fast forward to Monday, I reached out to them, and they said that I can place the dumpster in my designated outdoor parking spot. I have 10 days, and I need to provide them with the rental company's certificate of insurance. Got it. So that's what I did. I rented a 15 cubic yard dumpster from a rental company and instructed them to place it in my parking spot. They did it today, and now my contractors have a good place to throw out waste. Within an hour, I get a call from the HOA's management company manager saying that the neighbor called and was upset that the dumpster was placed too close to her car and that she couldn't get in. Fair enough, but you told me to put it there. They said that I could talk to the neighbor, which I immediately said sure. But they came back and told me that she was too upset to talk to me. They then tell me that I have to move it. I ask where. They say either next to the garbage shed, if there's an empty parking spot, there's no guarantee, or put it on the street, which is a long walk from my condo, and I would need to get a permit from the town. I said I could get it moved, but the rental company is going to charge me a $200 fee, and that since I followed their instructions exactly, would they reimburse me for that? They essentially said no, and that it was my problem. They then turned it on me, asking how could I not have known that the dumpster would block my neighbors, and that I should have rented a smaller dumpster. Oh, game on. I responded saying that I reached out to them 2 months ago, and then again 2 days ago, with instructions, and at no time did they provide me with any parameters on how big of a dumpster should be. And they were the ones who told me to put it in my parking spot. Also, it wouldn't matter if I rented a smaller dumpster, because at 8 feet, the width is industry standard, and the length would vary. They then tried to claim that the dumpster was touching the line and that it should fully be within the parking pot, which I responded saying that no. My contractor on site says that it's not breaking the plane of rectangular shape of my parking spot. I told them that they were being incredibly petty for resorting to this NFL replay type BS and that I broke no rules. I do feel for the neighbor, but I don't feel like I should pay the $200 out of my pocket for following directions. Would I be the jerk for telling the management company's manager that I will not move the dumpster unless they agreed to reimburse me the cost for moving it? Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Not the idiot. Send them emails where they told you to place it there. As per your email below, I have highlighted the section where you tell me specifically to place the dumpster in my parking stall. If you are now reneging on this, I will be charged by the dumpster company for their labor to come move it because of your own negligence. Thus, I will need you to pay for the moving fee. If you are unwilling to pay the fee, then the dumpster will stay in the parking space as originally directed. It is within the lines and is therefore legally placed. Comment 2. Not the idiot. Communicate only through email or text and save everything and check the covenants and see how long you have to remedy a violation before they start fining you. Once they give you a written notification that the dumpster violates HOA covenants, you'll have so many days to remedy it. You're already planning on it being gone within 10 days. Try to make it quicker if you can. It's so temporary that it should be gone before they can complain too much. Now, for the update. Hey everyone, remember my dumpster mess from a few months back? Well, buckle up, because the saga continued, and you won't believe the twists and turns this story took. After my last post, things seemed to settle down for a bit. I had the dumpster in my parking spot, and my contractors were happily tossing debris into it. I thought the issue with the HOA was resolved, but boy, was I wrong. A week into the renovation, I got another call from the HOA manager. Apparently, my neighbor, let's call her Karen, had complained again. This time, she claimed that the dumpster was an eyesore and was devaluing the property. The HOA sided with her and demanded I move the dumpster immediately. I reminded them that they had approved the location, but they didn't budge. I was fuming, but decided to play it cool. I called the rental company, and they agreed to move the dumpster to the street for the $200 fee. I paid it, thinking I'd sort it out with the HOA later. But when I submitted the receipt for reimbursement, the HOA flat out refused. They claimed it was my responsibility to ensure the dumpster didn't bother anyone. Meanwhile, Karen was strutting around like she owned the place, giving me smug looks whenever she saw me. It was infuriating, but I had bigger fish to fry with the renovation in full swing. Then, one day, I came home to find Karen's car parked in the guest spot next to mine. She had this fancy new sports car that she loved more than anything. I didn't think much of it until the next morning, when I saw a huge scratch along the side of her car. It looked like someone had taken a key to it. I felt bad for her, but I had no idea who could have done it. The plot thickened when Karen knocked on my door, accusing me of scratching her car out of spite. She had no proof, but she was convinced I did it because of our dumpster feud. I told her I didn't know anything about it, but she threatened to take me to small claims court. Things were tense in the complex, to say the least. My contractors were finishing up, and I was counting down the days until I could be done with the HOA and Karen. But then, another bomb dropped. The HOA manager was caught embezzling funds from the association. It turned out he had been skimming money for years, and the only reason he was so uptight about the dumpster was that he was trying to distract from his own shady dealings. The community was in an uproar, and everyone was shocked, especially Karen, who had been one of his biggest supporters. With the manager gone, the new interim board was much more reasonable. They apologized for the hassle and agreed to reimburse me for the moving fee and the extra days I had to rent the dumpster because of the move. As for Karen, she never did find out who scratched her car. But without the manager to back her up, she lost her steam. She tried to apologize to me for the accusations, but the damage was done. We were civil, but far from friends. And then, just when I thought things couldn't get any crazier, the interim HOA board discovered that the manager had approved several renovations without proper permits, including Karen's fancy new kitchen. She was ordered to halt her renovation immediately and faced hefty fines for the unpermitted work. Sister sabotages her baby daddy's new GF's wedding and blames me, but I stand up to her, and now I'm gearing up for the family showdown of a lifetime to protect my friend throwaway account. I, 28-year-old female, do not have the best relationship with my sister Tammy, 30-year-old female. And I wanted to say that it started with our grandfather, who often praised Tammy for being the prettiest granddaughter and spoiling her. This made her think that she was better than me and our two girl cousins, and while there were attempts to stop his behavior, he passed away. But the damage was already done, and Tammy felt as if she deserved more better just because she was a natural beauty. I won't lie, Tammy was gorgeous and even did a little modeling in the summer. All the guys talked about how pretty she was in high school and would often do things for her. However, there was this one guy in particular that she liked the most, and he ended up getting her pregnant. The school we went to was private and had strict policies in regards to physical displays of affection, and when word got out that Tammy was pregnant, she was forced to leave. Tammy and I were both there on a partial scholarship, and according to its terms, we both had to maintain a respectable reputation, and being an unwed teenage mother was far from it. The school took back Tammy's scholarship, and my parents couldn't afford the fees. I got to stay, however. Teen gossip can be vicious, and I left voluntarily because I couldn't take it anymore. I was so mad at Tammy for how her bad decisions affected me, and couldn't give a crap that the guy who knocked her up denied paternity, got his friends to lie about her, and took a girl she hated to the dance. That girl was Chloe, 31-year-old female, and I didn't know exactly why Tammy didn't like her. But I had my theories. Chloe dumped Tammy's baby daddy after it was revealed that he got another girl pregnant over the summer, and I never heard or saw Chloe again until college. I didn't realize it, but she and I enrolled in the same university and met again at a tutoring session. Chloe was very kind and welcoming, and while I was initially hesitant, she became like the big sister I always wanted and helped me get scholarships. Parents spent the money on Tammy's baby, gave great advice on which classes to enroll in, and helped me get a great internship that set me up with a good job post-graduation. I never told Tammy about my relationship with Chloe, but when she saw a picture of me in the bridal group with her on social media, Tammy flipped out. She called me a bad sister and asked me how could I be friends with someone who hurt her so bad. I asked her, when has she ever been a good sister to me? And that what she and Chloe went through in high school wasn't that bad. Tammy shot back that I did know that it was that bad. Otherwise, I wouldn't have hidden it. I said I hid it because I knew she'd be a major witch about it all and didn't want to deal with the hassle. Tammy and my parents want me to drop out of being a bridesmaid, but I don't want to because I truly consider Chloe a friend and want to be there for her. Am I the idiot? Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Your sister has a lot to be justifiably bitter about. Honestly, I'm pretty mad for her about the entire situation. Out of everything you described, though, Chloe's role was the most innocuous. She was likely just one of many to be charmed by a jerk. It happens to the best of us. Not the jerk, not the idiot. Comment 2. Not the jerk, not the idiot. Chloe is your friend, and it doesn't sound like she's ever majorly bullied or hurt Tammy. Your family doesn't need to like or approve of your friends. Stay at the party and enjoy the wedding. Now, for the update. Hey everyone. It's been a wild 3 days since my last post about the whole bridesmaid drama with my sister Tammy and my friend Chloe. I've got some updates for you, and let me tell you, things have gotten even more intense. So, after the whole blow-up with Tammy, I thought things would cool down, but boy was I wrong. Tammy has been on a warpath, and it's like we're back in high school with the level of drama that's been stirred up. Remember how I mentioned that Tammy had a baby with a guy who denied paternity? Well, turns out that guy is Chloe's cousin, and that's a big part of why Tammy can't stand her. It's a mess of family ties and old grudges that just won't die. Tammy's been calling our relatives, trying to turn them against me for siding with Chloe. She's been painting this picture of me as the traitor of the family, and it's been rough. Our parents are stuck in the middle, and they're getting pressure from both sides. They still think I should drop out of the wedding to keep the peace, but I'm not about to let Tammy dictate my life. Now, here's where it gets juicy. 2 days ago, I got a call from Chloe, and she was in tears. Someone had sent her a bunch of old photos and messages from high school, stuff that was supposed to stay buried. It was all about the drama with Tammy's baby daddy and the rumors that got Tammy kicked out of school. Chloe was devastated, thinking it was me who dug up the past to hurt her. I had to calm her down and explain that I had nothing to do with it. I had a hunch that Tammy was behind it, trying to sabotage Chloe's wedding and get back at me at the same time. So, I did some digging. I reached out to some old classmates and found out that Tammy had been asking around for dirt on Chloe. It was like she was on a mission to ruin her life all over again. But here's the kicker. Chloe's fiancé, who's been super supportive and understanding through all of this, used to have a thing for Tammy back in the day. I never knew about it until now, but apparently he asked Tammy out before he started dating Chloe, and Tammy turned him down flat. It's like all the pieces of a puzzle coming together, and it's not a pretty picture. Yesterday, things came to a head when Tammy showed up at my place unannounced. She was furious, accusing me of spreading lies about her to Chloe and her fiancé. I tried to reason with her, but she wasn't having any of it. She said that if I didn't drop out of the wedding, she'd make sure I regretted it. I stood my ground, though. I told Tammy that I wasn't going to let her bully me into giving up a friendship that means a lot to me. I reminded her of all the times she made me feel like I was less than her, and how she never once acted like a sister should. It was a full-on confrontation, and I didn't back down. Tammy stormed out, and I haven't heard from her since. But I know this isn't over. Chloe's wedding is coming up, and I'm still a bridesmaid. I'm preparing for whatever Tammy might throw my way, but I'm also worried about Chloe. She doesn't deserve any of this, especially not right before her big day. If you liked this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.